Hello there and welcome to this short video about separation agreements in family law in Ireland. Unfortunately today and in the last few years there has been a significant increase in the number of relationships and marriages that are breaking down, and this leads to the need for separation agreements on some occasions. It's important to note that a separation agreement is essentially a private contract between the two parties. It can be enforced through the courts for breach of contract, for example, because it is essentially a contract between the two parties, the two spouses who have now separated and their relationship has irretrievably broken down. Now, it could also be prosecuted through the courts for a contempt of court if the separation agreement was ruled in court, that is, it was presented to the court and made an order of court by agreement with both parties. It's important to differentiate between a separation agreement, as I am describing now, and judicial separation proceedings, which is separation being sort of prosecuted or being canvassed, as it were, through the courts, as opposed to this private arrangement, which is a binding agreement, a binding contract between the parties, but it is by necessity a private contract. A separation agreement can deal with practically anything that the two parties agree to put into the contract, put into the separation agreement, whatever they need to deal with. Typically it will deal with the likes of property, if there's a family home or other property. If there's children involved, then it'll deal with custody, maintenance, access and guardianship. Generally there will be a non-molestation clause as well. This is basically a no disturbance after the agreement clause, which basically binds both parties to leave each other alone and let each other get on with their lives. On many occasions also it will deal with the question of taxation, and it will also almost certainly deal with succession rights, where each spouse will give up their succession rights to the other's property and under the Succession Act. Having an agreement ruled in court or made an order of court is essentially where you come to an agreement with your former spouse or your spouse and go into court and have it made an order of court. The advantages of this are essentially twofold. Number one, if there is a difficulty in enforcing maintenance payments, then it's easier to enforce it through the court, because payments could have been set up to be paid through the district court clerk, for example. Secondly, any breach of the agreement, once it has been ruled and made an order of court, is contempt of court, and it will allow you to go back to court for a remedy for the breach. It's important to note that there's no legal aid provided or no legal assistance provided by the state for separation agreements, so both parties generally will pay their own costs. It's a private contract, as I say, so anything that the parties choose can be included in the agreement once there is agreement. My name is Terry Gorry from Terry Gorry and Company Solicitors. My contact details are on the screen there. If you need to learn any or to discover anything further about separation agreements or need a separation agreement drafted, don't hesitate to contact me through the website businessandlegal.ie or solicitorsdublinhq.com, or the two telephone numbers on the screen, or the email that you see on the screen. Thanks for watching the video.